On June 28th, 1997, one of the most anticipated heavyweight boxing matches of all time happens when Evander Holyfield takes on Mike Tyson in the rematch for the WBA Heavyweight Championship. And it is made even more famous when a body part is bitten off in the middle of the fight. Here's the story behind this iconic moment today on Daily Sports History. Welcome to Daily Sports History. I'm Ethan Reese, your guide to a rapid deep dive into sports history every day. And today's trivia question is, what product did years later Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield team up to produce? Now, like I said in the opening, this was a rematch. They had fought 7 months earlier for the heavyweight title, where Evander Holyfield had won the heavyweight title for a third time away from Mike Tyson, who going into the fight was the heavyweight champion. But there was some controversy in that fight, as Evander Holyfield had accidentally headbutted Mike Tyson, giving him a cut in the 6th round, which obviously upset Tyson fans as this is an illegal move. But the fight continued, and by decision, Holyfield won. And they quickly came around to have their second rematch 7 months later on June 28th, 1997. Now, to just give you some context, that first fight, Mike Tyson took home $30 million for that fight, whereas Evander Holyfield only took $12 million. And when they came back to fight again, Mike Tyson still, in the rematch, took home $30 million, but Evander Holyfield got a huge pay bump and took home $35 million. But he also lost something very unusual in the process. Now, leading up to the fight, they actually wanted to have the same referee that they had in the first match. But the Tyson management team rejected it as they wanted a new ref so they could hopefully not have the same headbutting incident that happened previously. But the Nevada State Athletic Commission, who regulates the fights in Nevada, actually rejected this request. But the referee, Mitch Halpern, willingly withdrew himself from the fight, so there would be no ill will to the ref during the fight. And the fight went to veteran official Miles Lane, who had actually reffed 6 previous Tyson fights and 7 Holyfield fights, so was very accustomed to both these fighters. So the match begins, and Holyfield initially comes out and dominates Tyson. Now, Holyfield has the advantage that most fighters actually had against Mike Tyson, is that Mike Tyson was shorter and had shorter arms. And as he only stood 5'10", but Holyfield almost at a height of 6'3". So he had a long reach advantage, which is usually preferred in boxing, especially in the heavyweight division. But even though Tyson was short, his punches were very powerful. But that didn't stop Holyfield from coming out quickly and won the very first round. And actually had a shot that kind of stunted Mike Tyson. Then roughly 30 seconds into the second round, Holyfield ducked under a right punch from Tyson, but in doing so, inadvertently headbutted Tyson, producing a large cut over his right eye. Although many speculate that this cut that Tyson got over his eye actually happened during the first round and not this headbutting incident. And again, Tyson was upset. He had been headbutted multiple times in the first match that he lost against Holyfield, and just 2 rounds into the second match, he had been headbutted again, and again complained to the referees. And the referees actually did review the replays. And the referee, Miles Lane, stated that yes, there was a headbutt, but it was unintentional and non-punishable. So again, they come out into the third round. Tyson actually came out without his mouthpiece. The referee ordered Tyson back into his corner to insert the mouthpiece. And Tyson put it in his mouthpiece to resume the fight. And Tyson came out swinging. He was so upset about this headbutting incident. And with only 40 seconds remaining in the round, Holyfield got Tyson in a clinch. And then in doing this, Tyson rolled his head above Holyfield's shoulder and spit out his mouthpiece and bit down on Holyfield's ear. And not only did he bite, he tore off a piece of Holyfield's ear and spit it onto the ring. Holyfield leapt in the air in pain, circling everywhere, blood flowing from his ear. The ref immediately stopped the fight, but that didn't stop Tyson from shoving Holyfield from behind into his corner. But Miles Lane was able to remove Tyson to another corner and called for a delay in the fight. to figure out what had just happened. As it was such a quick moment in time, you could almost miss it and not even see what happened if watching it live. So the referee, Miles Lane, calls Mark Ratner, the chairman of the Nevada Athletic Commission, to the ring to inform him that Tyson had just bitten Holyfield's ear and that he was going to disqualify him and end the fight. But they decided to leave it up to the physician that was checking on Holyfield in the ring. Holyfield was actually cleared to fight, but Lane decided to allow the fight to continue and penalized Tyson with a 2-point deduction for the bite, as per the rules of causing intentional injury. And Tyson tried to argue, saying it happened during a punch, but they had the replay. They knew exactly what happened. And at that point, they ended the fight, giving the win by disqualification to Holyfield, helping him retain his world heavyweight title. And Mike Tyson had lost 2 fights for the first time in his career in a row. Now, Tyson was upset by this disqualification. He actually attempted to attack Holyfield even after the fight had officially ended, and security had to step in to hold him back because obviously he was upset. And for a man that is the former heavyweight title holder, you're going to need multiple people to hold him back when he wants to fight. Now, mind you, this all happened before they had announced anything to the fans in attendance at the fight. No one knew exactly what happened, so the fans didn't know that the fight was over. They didn't know that the ear had been bitten. All they knew is there was an injury and something was going on. So after 25 minutes, they finally announced, ladies and gentlemen, the fight has stopped in round 3 due to disqualification to Mike Tyson for biting Evander Holyfield in both ears. And as a result, Evander Holyfield is now your remaining WBA heavyweight champ. After the fight, Tyson tells the media that the bite was retaliation for the consistent headbutts that Holyfield was giving Tyson from the previous fight and even starting in this fight. And he didn't want to continue this. And after the fight, Tyson's Nevada State Commission license was revoked, and he was fined $3 million plus legal fees due to this incident. Now, Tyson actually appealed, and the commission voted 4-1 to reinstate Tyson's license in 1998. But after this, Tyson wouldn't fight again until 1999, where he finally won again. But Tyson would go on to win 4 of his next 6 fights, 2 of those fights being non-decisions due to injury and a failed drug test. And in 2002, he would go on to fight Lennox Lewis for the WBC heavyweight title and lose. And by 2005, he would fight his last fight versus Kevin McBride, which he lost, bringing his career record to 50-6 with 2 no contests. And it was reported earlier this year that he was actually going to fight Jake Paul, but that seems like that fight is kind of up in the air about whether that is actually going to happen. But Mike Tyson has become a person in pop culture with his famous face tattoo and also being in the Hangover movies. And it's been a constant figure in the public eye, popping up all over the place so everyone remembers Mike Tyson. Now for Holyfield, he would go on to defend his heavyweight title for the next 2 fights. But in 1999, he faced Lennox Lewis, which resulted in a draw, and he retained the heavyweight title, and would go on to fight Lewis again that same year and lose the heavyweight title, and would never quite get back to that level again. And then in 2000, when the WBA heavyweight title was vacant, he won it again, facing John Ruiz, and would go again to face John Ruiz about that next year and lose the heavyweight title. And he would continue fighting for multiple years until 2011, when he fought his final fight against Brian Nelson, winning and then retiring with a career record of 44 wins and 10 losses, with 2 draws and 1 no contest. Now, Holyfield is not as recognizable as Mike Tyson, but he has made appearances on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, some cartoons as Phineas and Ferb and Arthur, been part of Celebrity Big Brother, so he's been around. And one thing you can always notice about Holyfield is on one of his ears, there is a piece missing at the top of his ear that he has to live with as it healed up after Mike Tyson bit it off. Now, the two have actually become pretty good friends since their boxing days, since both of them have retired. In 2009, they both appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show, where Tyson made amends, saying it's been a pleasure to have him be acquainted in his life. Holyfield forgave him. And they even got to being such good friends that in 2022, Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield teamed up to produce an edible cannabis sweet in the shape of Holyfield's ear called Holy Ears for Christmas promotions. And it's amazing how this one fight has led to them teaming up together years later in friendship instead of fighting. And I want to thank you for listening to today's topic. If you like this topic, please let your friends know. And if you want us to cover a topic that you like, all you have to do is leave us a review wherever you're listening or go to Apple Podcasts to leave a review and tell us your name and what topic you would like me to cover. And we'll cover that just for you on Daily Sports History. And we'll see you next week. And today's trivia question is, what product did years later Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield team up to produce? In 2022, Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield teamed up to produce an edible cannabis sweet in the shape of Holyfield's ear called Holy Ears for Christmas promotions.